Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Ki-West. Hey, Richard, Jeff, Susan, Tom and Kathy, Shane, Big Bear, and John, Diane, Murray. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Greg. So guys, we're on the corner of Whitehead and Southern, and I thought I'm gonna take you down a little walk down to Wall Street and this area to show you what is open to locals at this point, or what has been open the whole time. A lot of it you already know if you've been following our streams. So here on that corner, the Courthouse Deli has been open the whole time with free ice cream for the kids and free coffee for the grown-ups. And look at this, the Green Parrot is getting ready for you. So the Green Parrot plus the liquor store next door plus Charlie Max on this side, all covered up, getting rid of those creepy crawlies, not getting too close. Well, everybody, welcome. So great to have you with us here in Ki-West. So of course, the Green Parrot, one of the locals bars here, just like all the bars, they're not open, of course. None of the bars is open at this stage. We do have some restaurants that are open within specific rules and regulations. So the bars are still getting ready to have people back. So as you can see here, the Green Parrot used this time to do some repairs and do a little termite fumigation right here. I always like those tents. They kind of look like giant circus tents. So the Green Parrot, yellow and red today. And on this side, Charlie Max and their gift store, the Green Parrot gift store right here. So that's a pretty big tent right here on Southern. So that's the Green Parrot, one of the oldest bars. And let's walk up Southern Street. We're gonna head up over to Duval. Yes, Susan, that's how they do it here. They just wrap up the whole thing and then they pump it full of poison. Well, a lot of the houses actually are, well, they wooden houses, and they are slightly up above the ground, so there is space underneath. So I guess that way you kind of make sure you're treating everything. Over here we have Fritas. So Fritas has been open the whole time and been doing a lot for for our community here. They also developed some really cool masks. So I kind of have a whole collection. I have a chicken mask with a little plug that can hold a straw. And I got some masks that I sent over to my parents, one with flamingos. So those guys have been open the whole time. So again, some of the restaurants, it was up to them whether they wanted to stay open for takeaway and deliveries. Of course, no sit down. And the big change here for the last couple of days is that restaurants are open. Not all of them are open because, you know, for a lot of them it doesn't make a lot of sense to run because the limitations are 25% of the capacity, no bar space, so everything that is bar area doesn't count, so they're not allowed to open those. So here the Old Town Mexican Cafe opened just in time for Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo. And so what they did is they only have one, like every other table, where you can actually sit. So either on this side or way across on the other side. So, and I have to admit, that is what we did on Tuesday. Then here we have, of course, Cuban Coffee Queen. Now, Cuban Coffee Queen has been open the whole time too, for takeout and delivery. And plus it's all outdoors, so that's pretty neat. So the regulations for the restaurants are 25% of capacity right now if they are indoor. I think you can go up to 50 if they are outdoor, and 6 feet apart. So here we have Only Wood that has reopened, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables outside. Little hidden spot here off Duval Street in Ki-Lime Square. They have also been open. We know all the places that have been open through the whole time because we did do a lot of pickup. Supporting the local businesses. Another place here that has been open for takeout during all this time, and with the new regulations, they have now put out tables on the sidewalk. Which is what they do when they close off Duval Street for the Duval Mall, the walking street. I'm trying to remember the exact name that they were giving this. Hello Angel, welcome back. Thank you for the super chat. I keep forget to mention that we do have super chat and stickers available now. Takes a while to get used to this. So guys, welcome everybody who just joined. We are doing a little walk down Duval Street here. So we are in the restaurant area here, which is around the Southern Street area. So far I feel like I mentioned a lot of businesses that have actually been open the whole time. So the only change is that now they have tables for people to sit down instead of taking their food home. And the one big change over here is the Old Town Mexican Cafe. And it was kind of funny because, I mean, since Taco Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo on the same day, plus the fact that they just reopened, there was a line down the sidewalk. Of course, people were keeping their distances, but there was a line for Taco Tuesday. Still working on Duval Street here. As you know, the quays are still closed for tourists until at least June. So the city of Ki-West has decided to repave Duval Street. And so far they have mainly worked on the sidewalks, on the sidewalks and the crossroads, not so much on the actual street. So there is a lot of patching going on. So we'll see what the final look of it is going to be. So here, the corner of Southern and Duval Street, lots of restaurants. This is a lot of the places where we locals hang out. Some of the places over there haven't opened yet. That's where you have the cafe, which is like health food and vegetarian, lots of vegetarian options. Me So Happy Thai and Sushi over there has been open the whole time, one of our main food sources. And unfortunately, I don't know if Peter is watching, but Peter, unfortunately, Kojin is not going to reopen after this. So they have been closed ever since this started, and they are not reopening Due to other issues, they actually decided to close down because they were in a discussion with the landlord of their location and wanted to raise the rent after their lease expired, and so there have been like lots of back and forth there. So bottom line is Kojin is not going to reopen, at least not in that location. So the local community has been very, very, very vocal about this, and so we will see what's going to happen. Maybe there's a nice spot opening up in Newtown, maybe another location here downtown. I mean, there are going to be some changes, so we will see. On the bright side, if there is one, where are our friends of formerly known as Oro Gold? So for that, the good news are that the rip-off stores are not reopening either. I guess if they don't have any tourists to rip off, it's not as easy for them to make it. So here is the beautiful, beautiful empty storefront of Oro Gold Cosmetics. Can't say I'm sorry to see those guys go. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thanks for the super chat. So we're on our way over to Mallory Square, doing a little update on what is going on here. So to our left now we have Margaritaville Cafe and store and restaurant. So they also have been open the whole time. Now I have to admit that this was a bit of a surprise, and so was Jack Flats over there. So these guys have been open through this whole thing too, and they did a lot of interesting specials for locals, like the hot dog specials, and you know, just making sure that the locals out of a job are able to eat. So that was interesting because, you know, a lot of people tend to think of Margaritaville being very touristy, so they have been open the whole time. So that was nice. As you see here, construction is still going on. Over here on Fleming, some of the places are closed. We have a really nice pizza place that has been open the whole time, but the other ones haven't reopened yet. So in terms of interesting reopenings, if you have watched our stream, when was that? Our last sunset walk. We went over to Schooners. So Schooners is, I think pretty much everybody thinks it's a bar, but technically they are restaurants, so they were allowed to open again. So Schooners is open. You cannot just go there and sit and you know, pretend it's back to being a bar. So you can go there for food and of course have your drinks with the food. And they do have live music. So the good news is that some of the local musicians are back to working. So Schooners is back open. They do have music. I do understand though that a lot of the locations currently don't really pay the musicians, but I think everybody right now is happy to be back and pay for tips. Normally the bars down here do pay the musicians. And the other place is Sunset Pier. So Sunset Pier has reopened as a restaurant and does have live music, but we might have to check out. I don't remember the date. I know that they are going to reopen to the public, and I am not sure if that is today. So we are going to go there and check it out in person. If it's still closed off, that's fine. They did let some of the musicians play there so that they could live stream, which was really nice. So we're headed over there, on our way there. Some of the retail stores have reopened too. Now, a lot of them are more the ones that are outside of Old Town, because Old Town just traditionally is more of a touristy area, especially, you know, with the cruise ships. And those, I mean, you're familiar with the $5 t-shirt stores, etc. So they're not exactly the locations that, you know, would attract a lot of the locals right now. But some of the stores have opened, like Crazy Shirts on the corner of Greene Street and Duval Street has reopened.
Today there's a lot of people on the street. I've seen this lady at least 8 times already. Up to you.
So here we come over to the Grand Cafe in Caroline. They have been open quite a bit too for takeout and delivery. So again, the retail stores, yes, some of them are reopened, but mainly the ones like Beals and Sears, I think, out in the you know, where the big supermarkets are. So where the locals would go. So slowly, some retail is reopening here downtown too. Hey guys, hi. How are you? Good. See some familiar faces. So Caroline's here is back open. They removed the to-go signs, so they have been open the whole time. Over here, Fat Tuesday still closed. Ooh, thank you, Breast Punky, that Funky Punky. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting our channel. And I do know that I owe you $1 to be put up in the name of our feline friends at Captain Tony's as soon as we can do that. Thank you so much, Tom and Venice. So these guys here are not ready to open again, but they did have meals over at Jack Flats for their employees. And it looks like they also fixing some things. That's the big thing right now, is that everybody is fixing things here in Ki-West with the climate. It's been a long time coming. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. And thank you so much, Christopher. Thanks to each and everyone supporting our channel. Thanks for watching. So, our next update over here, these guys. So, if you are familiar with Ki-West, you come to see ours a lot. You probably know that the loose cannon here has changed names probably 3 or 4 times in the last 3 years. And so the loose cannon, it became the loose cannon maybe 2 months before everybody had to shut down. So unfortunately, that's another one that is not going to reopen. So the loose cannon is going to change again. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated what's going to be in this location, because after all, we are very close to the famous corner of Greene Street and Duval Street. And then next to the loose cannon that's a bit of a surprise, is Lucy's Retired Surfer Bar and Restaurant. So that one was actually a local's favorite, and it was in a very different location. Then about 2 years back, they moved here to Duval Street, which was a little bit of a surprise because, as I said, it was a local spot. And, you know, if you actually live here in Ki-West, you don't necessarily come to this area here around, like, hardcore downtown. You don't really come here to come out and eat. And so they have moved in here, and they also stayed open quite for some time in the beginning. And so rumors have it that they are not going to reopen either, which leaves like two places right next to each other that are not going to reopen. We will see. Now again, I'm telling you a lot of things that, you know, we call it coconut telegraph. A lot of things aren't necessarily like 100% confirmed, or maybe I just missed the announcements. It really depends. Kojin was an official announcement from the guys themselves. And I think the loose cannon was also like an official statement that I saw. Lucy's, I haven't seen anything, but I think Gabe has. So we shall see. Irish Kevin's closed on St. Patrick's Day, but reopening as soon as the bars are allowed to reopen, I suppose. No news here, no changes here. Same for Rick's. And of course over here, Sloppy Joe's. Although Sloppy Joe's does serve food, I think that technically they are they are considered a bar. There is a revenue split that defines whether you are a bar or a restaurant. So I think your revenue has to be 50% coming from food in order for you to claim that you're a restaurant and be able to open at a 25% capacity. Now again, Sloppy Joe's is probably more of a touristy spot, so not opening right now, even if they would qualify as a restaurant, but I doubt it. Of course, we have Captain Tony's right here, our home bar. We might have snuck in there for a little live stream a couple of weeks back, if you want to check that out. Hi! So I know these guys here are open again, the crazy shirts. And of course, limited capacity, you have to wear masks, you know, just common sense. We are a small island, and we are happy that so far it looks somewhat under control, although there have been pretty bad news from the Upper Keys today, where I think over 10 people in a nursing home tested positive. So that's what. So just when we thought it was somewhat under control, so we will see. Ki-West per se seems to be doing quite okay now. We have been under lockdown for quite a while, and they are pretty strict with the reopening rules. It all makes sense, so we'll see. Hog's Breath Saloon. So now that is another interesting one, because Hog's Breath Saloon, in my opinion, would be very similar to Schooner Wharf, which has actually never closed. Schooners has been open the whole time. And Hog's Breath does serve food, so I wouldn't be surprised if those guys would be the next ones to open. They're also a mix of locals and tourists, so I think they would have quite some people that will come and hang out. Of course, it's now almost 8 p.m., so it's difficult to tell you about the retail. I'll just know about the crazy shirts. And so this time of the day, a lot of people coming out doing their exercise. It's been not too hot during the day now, and we're kind of having a little bit of a cool down here. So official sunset time is today at 8 p.m. So we have a little bit more time here. And we have a felt like 83 right now. I'm just following these guys here. So we are at the very end of Duval Street, and as I mentioned earlier, ooh. So as I mentioned earlier, the Sunset Pier has reopened, given that they serve a lot of food. And I wasn't sure about the opening date. I know I saw the Facebook post, and I tried to memorize the which day they were opening. And so I don't really know if it was yesterday or maybe today, but it does look like it is actually open.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? You feel me? Come on, man.
And here we go. No more barriers. No more barriers to get over to Sunset Pier. So of course that's what we are going to do. Of course, this time of the year, sunset is behind Sunset Key. Well, thank you again, Breast Punky, that funky punky. You guys rock. Thank you so much. And oh wow, it is busy here. And unfortunately, it looks like there isn't a lot of social distancing going on, which in a way is a shame, because it probably means that, you know, the partial opening is going to be revised in a way or another. But we'll see. Put on your mask, guys.
Stranger to my eyes, rubbing my pilot's finger out, singing out this word, feeling me softly with this song, feeling me softly with his song, telling me for life, these words filling me. So
So yeah, on this side it looks more logical. People keep to their little groups. Of course, the tables are all way more than 6 feet apart. This is actually really nice because normally it's so crowded that you can't really access this area.
Well, I didn't pay attention that this is the Georgia side. Yeah, and I bought the ticket. Well, and I'm out there's some asshole Florida people too. I mean, I've seen them. Yeah, they're all. I was.
Richard, I have to agree with you. Sorry guys, I'm missing out on a lot of comments because I only have a small control phone. Well, we technically don't have a lot of tourists in town, so people should be familiar with what 6 feet are. And for people like me, I kind of know what it is, that it's 2 meters in metric. So I'm pretty sure those are more than 2 meters by far. I would say more than 4, more 4. His folks giving me so So let's go and see if we can access Mallory Square from here.
All right, I got a couple more songs.
So yes guys, here we go. It is opened again. Yep, the gates are open. So now you can go from Sunset Pier to Mallory Square. We will see how long Sunset Pier stays open, given that this wasn't really what it was supposed to be like in order for them to reopen. So we'll see how it goes. So Mallory Square has been open for a little while. They took down the barriers last week. And however, the sunset celebration as such hasn't been reinstated, so you know, the artists that draw really big crowds around them, where everybody would be standing in the same spot. So those guys aren't back yet. But we did used to come here on the parking lot and stand on this little wall behind the fence from time to time to see a little bit of the sunset.
Yeah, don't take me, bro. All right, man. Y'all have a great night. Tell me your name again. Adrian. You ever heard that?
And it's so cool to see people actually fish right here on Mallory Square. Because of course that is not really possible in normal times when the whole place is full and crowded. I mean, you've seen some of the videos where I actually need like an extension rod in order to be able to film above people's heads. It's also because I'm not very tall, but hey. So yes, these days the people are fishing right here during sunset time on Mallory Square. Nice and quiet. Look at that.
Exactly. And neither do I. Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much, Rick. You are welcome. I'm glad to see you enjoy this. Man, maybe we should get maybe we should bring a fishing rod next time. I feel really bad for not bringing any chicken food today, but I think given that there are more people around now, I think those guys are being pretty well fed now. So overall, at least here people are keeping their distances. It's pretty nice, it's really quiet. And I can't believe that people are fishing. That is so cool. So yeah, maybe we should give that a try next time. Fishing on Mallory Square. And welcome everybody who just joined. We are on Mallory Square here in Ki-West. So these guys here are all locals that actually venture out to the sunset now, because Ki-West and all of the Florida Keys are still closed to tourists. We have a checkpoint up just before Key Largo, so you have to show them some paperwork that you live here, work here, or on a work assignment, anything. And so slowly we are lifting some of the restrictions. We had a little walk earlier down Duval Street to check out on some of the businesses and the restaurants. And we are now here on Mallory Square. Of course, the sunset is right behind Sunset Key this time of the year. And it's really nice to see you. I've seen some familiar faces during the stream, so the locals are out. Of course, Mallory Square, if you live here, isn't necessarily like your first choice to go for a nice romantic evening to watch the sunset. But right now it is pretty nice. You can sit down, fish. People brought their drinks. They have their tumblers. So official sunset time is in 3 minutes. However, of course, since the sun is behind Sunset Key, you no longer see it. So she's almost gone. And over here, still closed. So over here we have the Margaritaville Resort. Of course, since the keys are only open to locals, the hotels and all the connected services are still closed. So some places like Sunset Pier, which belong to a hotel, they reopen because they have the outdoor space, the restaurant and the bar, etc. So Margaritaville here is still fully closed, including their pier and that walking space there. Hey, Weathermlow 78, welcome back. Good to see you. I see your question if I think that Ki-Uwest will stay closed until vaccine is ready. Well, I don't think, I mean, it depends on when that would be ready. So far, the official statement is that the Florida Keys and Ki-Uwest are closed until at least June. And I know some of you guys actually have a trip planned early June and late June, some of you. So all I know is what the official statement is at this point. Of course, what makes it very complicated for us is, and we're kind of in a limbo situation because of course Ki-Uwest is a very, I mean, it is a location that lives from tourism. So, you know, the longer we cannot have tourists here, the longer we can't have tourists here, the you know, the more difficult the economic situation gets. However, we are a very small island. We have a very, very limited medical setup, like very, very limited. And so the closest area where people would normally go to in case of medical emergencies is the Miami area. Now, the Miami area has had over 13,000 cases, which is like more than half of the inhabitants of all of Ki-Uwest. So that makes it very difficult. You know, if we open, we'll have a lot of day trippers coming down from an area that is pretty much out of control. So it is very tricky. So the roadblock is still in place and is going to stay in place until June. And so we will have to see. I don't know what the plans are. I personally don't think, you know, just opening up the road is a good idea because of Miami being one of the outbreak centers for Florida. Maybe I have no idea. We'll see. Of course, you know, as I mentioned here, for us it's kind of tricky because, you know, it's like it's like you can't really win in this situation, right? So we will see. So far, the date is June. As I mentioned earlier, we are pretty lucky in Ki-West itself in terms of the we have flattened the curve. Unfortunately, the upper Keys kind of had a rebound, like just announced today, with like a nursing home, lots of people in a nursing home testing positive. And so right now we know that, fingers crossed, but for Ki-West, maybe the community infections per se are more or less under control. So we know that, you know, the main risk factor is going to be people coming in from the outside. And again, it's the limited medical. I mean, you know, the available medical care here is a lot of people go to Miami to begin with, because there just isn't as much available here, and now Miami is kind of overcrowded in the medical field. So yeah, we kind of, we don't really know, and a lot of people are kind of torn between the things, because you know how, you know, so we'll definitely keep you updated as soon as we know more. So right now all we know is that during the month of May, it's basically just gonna be us here, and I am glad we can share it with you guys, so you kind of hear too. And we have some beautiful colors tonight. Here's our new Conch Republic flag, put up during the Conch Republic Independence Day, which is April 23rd. So it's been here ever since. It has been put up when Mallory Square was still closed off, so we had lots of barriers all around here. And this is the second time, actually, in our live streams that we're accessing Mallory Square. Well, technically the third time, but one time it was like, you know, it was open, but the barriers were still there, so we kind of snuck in. So since Margaritaville is still closed over here, and I don't have any chicken food with me, we're not gonna take the chicken alley. We're gonna take the main entrance to Mallory Square that is now open. Guys, one of the amazing things is that we have so many birds right now on the island, including one that sings all night right in front of our window. But yes, there are lots of birds. Besides the chickens roaming around, of course. Maybe you can also just hear them better because it's quieter. Although no, with all the construction going on, it's not much quieter though. Ooh, looks like we have a beautiful afterglow tonight. All pink and orange. And I was trying to work on a video today. We went out on the cruising tiki bars two nights ago for my brother's birthday, and so I'm trying to edit some 360 footage, and it kind of is just very slow to do so. So we might have a video up at some point. I'm not giving any dates. At some point, from the cruising tikis, which is basically just going to be a nice relaxing sunset video, but it's going to be 360, so you can pan around and look at Ki-West from the water, and at Sunset Key, getting a little closer than our views here when we come to Mallory Square. Unfortunately, we can't really go over to Sunset Key because it's all private homes, except for one restaurant and resort. So the sunset celebration performers have done something really cute. Oh my god, look at those colors. So they have been painting motivational, cute, colorful, positive signs and have put them all over the island so that they know that they think of us, they miss us, and of course we all can't wait to get our performers back. So we'll see when those guys are allowed to perform again. Of course, they always draw a huge crowd around them, so I don't really know, how they can manage that, but hopefully we're gonna have those guys back soon. Looks like everything is dipped in pink here. So yes, I do figure it is a mockingbird that is singing in front of our window. And we have a street light pretty close to our porch too, so that obviously attracts a lot of insects, and then in return, makes it a nice hunting ground for those guys. So it is pretty busy out there during the night, and then once they are done, the chickens come. So it really feels like the wildlife is taking over. Ooh, it looks like those guys got a truck. Nice. Yeah, I like colors. So again, make sure, if this is your first time watching us, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button. We always try to organize our live streams a little bit beforehand, but sometimes, we just go live without a lot of announcements, so make sure you catch those streams. If you hit the notification button, you will be notified when we are live from Ki-West. Our next stream is going to be tomorrow night. So tomorrow is one of our porch sessions. So Gabe is going to be playing the usual porch session where you guys can make song requests. So just join us, and then, just put your song requests in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Slight change in the time though tomorrow. So normally we do those from 5 till 7, but tomorrow we are aiming at 6 till 8. Reason for that being that we are going to stream from the beach, and we want to make sure we catch the sunset like today. So we're gonna have a live music stream / sunset stream tomorrow, starting 6 or 6:30ish. So make sure you hit that reminder button, the notification button. Hope you enjoyed your little Ki-West walk. And as you can see, things are getting busier here, but that is also because Simonton Street is being repaved. So, normally we kind of avoid going down Duval Street, whether it is by car or by bike. And actually, now it's less of an issue because there is much less traffic. So guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. And we'll be back tomorrow. Take care, guys.